Before riding, it's very important to check your bike to make sure it is ready for the ride. We call this check an M check, and it's the safest, easiest way to make sure your bike is ready for the journey ahead. So we're going to start with the front wheel and the tyres. If you do find it easier to do this with the bike upside down, then you can do so. Just make sure that you put something down on the ground to stop the saddle or the bars getting damaged. So we're going to check our tyre pressures. Push down on the top of the tyre. It shouldn't feel soft and squidgy, it should be quite firm but not rock solid. We're also going to check the sidewall of the tyre for any cuts and abrasions. Next, make sure your wheel is secure in the frame. And we're going to check our spokes to see if we've got any loose or broken spokes that will make our wheel untrue. Ensure that the wheel spins freely, is not buckled, and that the brake pads do not rub on the rim. If you're unable to turn the bike upside down, these checks can still very easily be carried out whilst the bike is in its standard upright position. Once we have finished those checks, we're going to move on to the headset. We test the headset by pulling the front brake and rocking the bicycle. There should be no play and everything should feel nice and tight. The handlebars should move freely, however, they shouldn't move independently of the front wheel. Check this by holding the wheel between your legs and wiggling to make sure the bars are secured and also aligned. Make sure you've also got bar ends on your handlebars. Next up are the brakes. We're going to check the front brake by rolling the bike forward and pulling it. You can see here that the rear wheel lifts up. To check the rear brake, we're going to move the bike backwards and pull the rear brake. Next up, we're going to check the brake pads. So this is what a brake pad should look like. As a rule of thumb, if you can see the indentations, then you've still got some pad left. Ensure they are not excessively warm. And also that the brake lever doesn't come all the way back to the bar. You may need to adjust the barrel adjuster here. Winding the barrel adjuster out will tighten the cable on the inside. Just make sure that the black collar is in contact with the brake lever at all times. Some bikes, like my dirty mountain bike, run disc brakes. You can still visually inspect the disc brake pads, however, adjusting disc brakes is an advanced skill and you should consult a mechanic if there is ever anything you're unsure of. We're now going to focus on the chain, the cranks and the pedals. The chain should be lightly oiled and not rusty. Ensure the cranks are secure. Try to wobble the crank to see if it moves side to side. If they do, then the bottom bracket needs attention. Whilst here, we're also going to make sure that the pedals are secured and that they spin freely. Take a look at the frame and the seat post. Inspect the frame for any cracks or damage and make sure that the seat post is securely in place and not above the maximum height limit. Try to wiggle the saddle side to side and up and down to check that it doesn't move. Finally, check the rear wheel and brake area. Just like the front, make sure that the rear wheel is secure and in good condition. Check that your tyre is properly inflated and that the brake pads are also in good shape. If your bike has gears, test them out to make sure they shift smoothly. You can use the barrel adjuster on the shifter or derailleur if needed. If the gears aren't shifting properly, check that the gear hanger is straight and not bent. For those that ride folding bikes, make sure the folding mechanism is fully secured. If you have an e-bike, check the battery to make sure it's in good condition and that you've got enough charge to do your journey. And if you do have a specialist or adapted cycle, pay close attention to any non-standard cycle parts, such as steering columns and rods or handbrakes. Lastly, ensure that any accessories, reflectors, bells, etc. are securely fitted. Now that you've learnt to M-check your bike, you're ready to ride. Just remember to stay safe, be seen, and bike happy.